Today we have your WCW. You have to scoot in there.
Yeah, you can't get really far when you put a small couch there.
We have the WCW episode today, so we're gonna review it first off as a series. I'll start. I thought The Rock did a fantastic job with this series, producing it. He did really well. The people with Dark Side of the Ring did another excellent job at making this Who Killed WCW series. I think it was fantastic. We're gonna dive into this stuff in a second. I'll let my buddy review the same thing.
I'll do it quickly since we have to bump between each other. The couch is not big enough. I give it a solid 5. It was a story we all knew. Well, us who grew up with the rivalry. It was a good series. Better, luckily nothing about death or anything. If you want to learn about who killed it, you sort of do, you sort of don't. He left it open-handed, but it was still worth it. I give it a solid 5. And may as well start. So I'm on the couch, middle of it. Jeez, it's gonna hurt. For me, I'll start with Turner, what I think of it. Turner, to me, when Turner left WCW, basically, the new guy didn't know what to do with it and didn't want professional wrestling. And now if you look years later, going to AEW, that's on the same exact network, they are starting to see the same thing. Wrestling, Warner's not for wrestling. And it's sad because we could still be here today and we could have AEW also in the same market battling. Did I think that Ted Turner had stayed? I think that we'd still be here maybe today. I don't know. But yeah, good series. If you want to learn about it, there you go. Or if you want to learn another way, just ask your parents. Probably a lot of parents that watch this channel or people our age probably grew up with that company. So I'll let him speak about that. I'm going to stand up now.
I think the WCW thing is a magnitude of multiple different errors. You can see it from the first episode, basically when they touch upon every wrestler having creative at the time, which was not a good idea. Some of the storylines were kind of a bit off. Bischoff was basically favoring Hogan and the NWO and Hall and Nash and those guys over the other talent that he had at the start, which kind of rubbed a lot of the people the wrong way in the company. And then fast forward to episode 2, we see more of that takeover with Bischoff as he's just continuing to give the creative to Hogan and Hall and Nash and letting basically the animals run the asylum for the sake of WCW. Slowly gets worse when Vince Russo takes over from WWE, which they thought Vince Russo was going to be a savior. It turned out to be absolutely terrible. Vince Russo was one of the worst people that they had running the company at the time. A lot of mistakes there. Probably the biggest one and most notable one was when they put the title onto David Arquette. Being a movie star, bringing him in, trying to promote Ready to Rumble and putting the belt on him. Way too early, in my opinion. I think that was a huge mistake on their part. I think if they wanted to do it properly, I think the best thing would have been, if you're going to bring David Arquette in, bring him in, but have him compete in 3 or 4, 5, 6 matches first, build up enough of a win streak, and then have him go for the title. That would have, I think, would have been my thing that I would have done, had him compete more matches heading into that match, and then eventually, sure, probably putting the title on him, but having him earned it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Who Killed WCW episode. I think that would have been the best thing for them to do, would have been that, to build it up more and have him win that way would have been a lot better. I think that would have been really good for sure for them. I think that would have been the best thing for the WCW at that time. And it progressively gets worse throughout the series, as you can tell. We're talking about the Who Killed WCW episode. So if you haven't watched it, it's really good series, guys. Definitely check it out if you're big fans of Dark Side of the Ring. And this one's produced by The Rock, and I think The Rock did a fantastic job of producing this series. He did really well with it. If you're big fans of that stuff, you'll definitely like this series for sure. It's definitely one of the better ones that they've put in together, I think for sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's just so much that they can do that they could have done better. And obviously at the end we've seen they were continuously losing money. Time Warner was losing money with it as well. And basically, there was a lot of infighting with Eric Bischoff, with Vince, with everybody involved in the whole deal. Kellner comes in, wants nothing to do about wrestling, and it basically kills the company because he says, no, I don't want anything to do with WCW. Eric had a deal on the table, which didn't really go anywhere. They kind of pulled the deal from under him, which really sucked. So there was a lot of mistakes made both ways. I think when Vince purchased it, as you'll see in the last episode, when Vince purchases WCW, I think there's just a lot that went wrong there too. Yes, he used some of the guys. He didn't get all the talent at once right away, as there was still a lot of people that didn't go anywhere with WCW. And like Booker T was probably the biggest one, I think, to come out of the WCW series for sure. Booker T, and then also Hogan, Nash, Hall came in, but they had something there with NWO, but they really misused the NWO badly, which also led to more drinking from Scott Hall, as Kevin Nash talks about on this series as well. That there's a lot of, it just wasn't, they weren't the same. WWE just wanted to basically take over and just like get rid of the talent and just basically bury them as just saying that they won. And Conan touches too that they could have done so much of a WCW WWE kind of rivalry storyline with the invasion kind of angle, but it just failed terribly because they didn't know how to use these wrestlers. Canyon, as you've seen in previous Dark Side of the Ring episodes, was just barely used. Came out when Kevin came out that he was gay, and then basically Vince did not like that, and he got buried by the Undertaker, and it just didn't end well for him. It didn't go well for a lot of these guys in WWE from WCW. I don't think a lot of these guys didn't really go anywhere, which is really sad. But there's a lot of mistakes in the WCW thing, but they can't deny what WCW did as a company and as a whole. For a whole 83 weeks, they've basically beat WWE for a whole 83 weeks when they launched. So that's an impressive feat that I think Bischoff will always have for doing what he did, for beating them 83 weeks in a row. Is just really impressive. Hello, everybody. I think it was really good. Bischoff's was like, but it's sad because you see a lot of it too today with AEW in a sense too, because they're right now kind of trying to figure out to get into a deal with TBS right now that hasn't really gone anywhere yet. So we're hoping that they can get it together and hopefully get a deal done. They do have really good pay-per-view coming up this weekend with Forbidden Door. I think it's gonna be fantastic. I'm definitely excited for Forbidden Door. It's one of the events that AEW does really well, mixing New Japan Pro Wrestling with American style wrestling. You're gonna get some good matches there, like Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay, Jon Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito, MJF versus Hechicero, Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vacour. Lots of really great matches this weekend, guys. So if you're big wrestling fans, definitely don't want to miss out on Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door is going to be fantastic. It's always one of the best pay-per-views that AEW puts together is Forbidden Door. I definitely look forward to it every year. And I'm really interested to see what they do this year. Mm-hmm. I'll let you touch on some of the stuff from WCW, and then we'll end this thing shortly. But
okay, I'll step in with about WCW. Touch about the company that I love watching when it flipped between the two. I think who killed it was the new guy from Turner, AOL Turner. He basically killed it. Bischoff, like my friend said, the deal was there, and he went, "No, I don't want it anymore." So Vince McMahon, I'm going to say, once took it over and said it's mine, and just killed it basically. I think if WCW had gone with WWE and we got the Stinger, Hogan, Nash, Hall, Goldberg, Jeff Jarrett, the big names, maybe Nameless wouldn't have all the happiness he had before everything is now. Do I think do we see WCW? We're starting to sort of see it here with AEW, some of the same things, including people with power, which I do not like. I don't like wrestlers having creative, which we're seeing heavily with some. Like you said, Forbidden Door is going to be awesome. It's kind of like WCW Starrcade in a way. How I Starrcade was the best thing. So what do you guys think? Were you guys fans of WCW? Did you guys watch it as kids? Did you watch it rerun with your parents? Do you guys have a favorite wrestling company? You know, which the channel's still going on as we're live. So the floor is to you guys. Who is your favorite wrestler? If you did watch WCW, your favorite match, let us know in the comments, since the comments are small, so we'll see them when we do. But let us know. and if you guys like AEW, what's your most anticipated match for Sunday? Will my friend take over? Again, let us know. Oh, of course, save that. I'll just tiny. Fast. What are people saying?
Oh, a lot of trolls. I just blocked them after.
At least you can see it. Take my water.
Lincoln Park's pretty good. They're definitely pretty good, but yeah. That's basically what we have for our WCW episode. It was fun to do this one. I did my Raw recap, so if you're big fans of Monday Night Raw, there's a Raw recap on here as well, so definitely check that out, because Money in the Bank is looking absolutely exceptional this year. It's going to be one of the best cards I think the WWE's putting together, with some banger matches there with like Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. I think it's going to be amazing. Seth Rollins and what's his face there? Damian Priest is going to be amazing. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline is going to be wicked. So much good things, plus the men's and the women's Money in the Bank matches. There's some really cool qualifiers in there already, so definitely super excited to see what they add to that one. Next Monday, there's going to be a big card for that too, as we're getting another qualifier match with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus and Ilya Dragunov. We got Dakota Kai, Ivy Nell, and who's the last one in that one? Can't remember, but and we're also getting Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega next Monday night for the women's title, which is going to be awesome. Definitely looking forward to that match. And Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio once again. Always a classic when those two wrestle each other, so I'm definitely excited to see what they do. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed our WCW episodes. If you want more wrestling content, let us know. We'll definitely love to put out more wrestling content for you guys.
Or any content that
Any content, movie content,
music if they want.
music, any kind of stuff like that, we'll do that. There's taste tests on the channel if you want to check that out. There's video game stuff. There's a bunch of everything for everybody, so definitely check it out. And feel free to subscribe, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely
Do so.
definitely subscribe, guys. We have 95 subscribers, which is really impressive. We really work hard on putting out this content stuff for you guys, and putting out these shows and stuff. It's a lot of work that goes into it, so definitely appreciate the support and the feedback for the good stuff. We'll even take the bad stuff. It doesn't matter. Comments are comments. It doesn't matter to us. We don't pay much attention to some stuff. A lot of those views we do. A lot of views we really care about, and you guys are awesome, and continue being awesome and continue supporting the channel. We definitely really appreciate it. We'll continue to put out more content for you guys, so we might be working on movie one, so stay tuned for that. There might be some movie reviews coming. Potentially, I have to see if the movie that we want to see is playing on the thing, so we'll see if we find that one. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the WCW episode. And, yeah. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.
There you go.